All right, boys, we're back. Minimal cuts. Let's get straight back into business. So in this module, we'll be going through onboarding and onboarding logic. This is the lead up to getting someone to pay for your subscription. And in my opinion, this is the most important step for consumer apps that are utility and subscription based. For social apps, you want to reduce, and I suppose dating, oh well, not dating apps, but social apps for sure, you want to reduce the amount of friction because every screen like reduces the amount of people that will like convert to the end. And like if I pull up my logic, my Mixpanel, my data, and we will get more into this later. But you can see this is my onboarding funnel, and yeah, like you can see there is drop off. Like only 95% of people converted to the fifth screen from the third screen, from the fourth screen. So like usually in most cases you don't want to add this friction, but when it comes to trying to prep someone to pay, the more time they spend doing the onboarding, answering questions, and finding out more about the product, the more likely they are to pay. Whereas like if it was a 1 or 2 screen and then you hit them with a paywall, it's super easy to close the app, uninstall, and just not end up paying. So the friction is incredibly necessary. Also, wow, that's a massive drop off. Oh, I know why that is. No worries. It's not actually that high. It's just in the last 30 days. I introduced a new page, so all the previous guys didn't see it. That's fine. Okay, back to it. So how do we build this from a technical point of view? Now, we want a list of questions and answers, and we want the flow for the screen to move on to the next question after you answer the previous question. And then at the end of it, there should be the paywall trigger. And then the paywall trigger, after you pay, you should enter the app. So let's dive straight into the logic. What I'm going to do is make a new file. I'm going to do Command N, and I'm going to click SwiftUI View. I'm going to call this onboarding view. Okay. So now I'm going to copy this file. Actually, what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to open the preview so you guys can see, make it very clear. So it's hello world. Now I'm going to go back into ChatGPT and I'm going to context with, is that the right word? Context or communicate or whatever with ChatGPT and try and build this funnel. So hi ChatGPT, I'm building an onboarding funnel that asks the user questions about their calorie tracking progress and goals. Please make every question somewhat different and build and nurture a relationship so they can convert, pay at the end of the funnel. Once all screens are answered, display a loading screen, a calculating loading screen, and then trigger a empty func that I will build into later. Okay. Then I'm going to send it my code. This is the kind of prompt I would ask. Again, it's not probably the most optimal, and Blake probably has better prompts, but I want to be raw and transparent on how I do it. And a little bit about me. I have a successful app. I own Quitter. We do $500,000 a month. I coded a lot of it myself, so I know what I'm doing for the most part. And even if it seems like I don't know what I'm doing, well, look how far it got me. So I'm going to share it anyway. Okay, well, that was a very quick one. I'm about to sip some water, but I guess not. This is great. I can already tell. This is great. This first question is asked though. Maybe later. Oh, you don't want to ever give your user the option to do it later. That sucks. We'll change it to a different question. Progress bar. Okay, progress bar at the top. Question view. This is great. The functions. So this function just like pushes you to the next step, to the next question. It just adds an animation. I don't know what kind is. Again, it's doing it all in one file, which I think for this tutorial was really simple. Long term, you want to switch to the MVVM structure, which is model, view, view model, and they are 3 separate files. But again, this isn't like a technical masterclass. This is how to build an app from scratch and how to build something that's been successful in the past. And then you just, as soon as you built it, just go out there and do some marketing, because you can market and make money from almost anything. Although, of course, make sure you're putting out good quality stuff. I don't suggest you just putting out slop and trying to make money. I suggest you try and help people or help a niche. And that is like the key to being successful. Okay, so we're just gonna copy and paste this in. Hopefully this works. First try, baby. Okay, welcome to Kali AI. I'll tailor you to this. Sounds good? Let's do it. Continue. Bro, this is amazing. This is great. What happens if you click this? Okay, it doesn't matter. Let's do it. I'm just gonna change this to, I can't wait. Let's go. Just for simplicity, obviously I won't actually put this, but I can't wait, let's go. All right, so the whole point of this, oh shit, is it gonna load? Bruh. Wow, that is crazy long. Okay, I'm just gonna run this myself. My bad. Okay, so as I was saying, the whole point of the onboarding is to like answer the user's questions, because you need to convince them on why paying for Kali AI is a good idea before they get hit the screen and then they're like, should I fucking pay or should I leave? So you're supposed to answer all of his questions beforehand and convince them. So when they do get hit with the paywall, they're like, huh, but actually I answered a bunch of questions and I believe in this and I really want to get started. I'm super motivated. Boom, impulse buy. I'm a subscriber. Let me use this product. So we'll go through this. Boom. Where are you starting from? Total beginner. What's your primary goal? Lose fat. Can I select multiple? Okay, no. Oh, primary goal. Okay, cool. What's your target pace? Boom, simple. How do you want to track? Photo estimate. This is great. How many workouts a week? This is a bit of a random question, but hey, when you can input stuff. I love pizza, but I know I shouldn't. Boom. Finish. Calculating your plan. This is the key. You need to have the app think about the answers and results, because that makes it look more legit. That is the key. That is the key. Okay, and at this point, after it's calculated the plan, it should prompt the paywall, which goes on to our next topic, which is Superwall. So let's get into Superwall and we will show you how to make money from your product.